2 going for the Terror Blast, Terror Fighting, so indicating it might want to start going for the attack and just immediately knock out that King Gambit. But King Gambit very wisely going for a Protect just to scout out what Marco is going to do and allowing the Dragon Pulse to come onto the Basque Legion, but it's not barely enough. That Flip Turn coming out, and it is going to be a one-hit knockout onto this Charizard.
And now we're on a situation of wide guard or not.
Yeah, always fun to have to predict it, and the Calyrex protecting in the last turn. Sometimes you just want to protect the wide guard here, but going to have to make a read. Also keep on, you mentioned the Grassy Glide from the Ogerpon before, but Rillaboom can do that too. So even though it's naturally the slowest Pokemon in the field, has the option of attacking first, although we'll have to see if anything's weakened enough for that to be relevant.
Here's the wide guard. Did Marco go for it or just the single target? The Astral Barrage! Federico gets it right! No damage to either the Miraidon or the Lunala from that Astral Barrage. Can this Rillaboom make anything happen? There was no Dazzling Gleam, or there was no Grassy Glide. Dazzling Gleam picks up the KO onto Calyrex, and Rillaboom takes a little bit of a chunk. But this is going to be so hard for the Great Ape to break through. Miraidon, even though it's at such low health, will go down to this Wood Hammer, and the Lunala, however, has that Electric Seed boost to stall out this Rillaboom.
Yeah, Federico just kind of half a turn ahead, and Rillaboom's going to take this attack very well with its Assault Vest, but still hasn't broken the Shadow Shield on the Lunala. It might be just a little bit too weak. This is still going to hurt, but kind of a piddly amount of damage there. Might still need 2 more Wood Hammers, and the Grassy Terrain's going to heal both of these Pokemon, but with Lunala dealing so much more damage, Marco could be in a situation where he's in danger of losing to Federico for a 3rd time in a row.
Well, there's another Moongeist Beam. Not enough to pick up the KO onto Rillaboom, but Rillaboom will do it himself with the Wood Hammer. That's big damage onto Lunala. There's the recoil from the Wood Hammer. Rillaboom goes down. Federico Camporesi takes game 1 over Marco Silva.
Zamazenta just sort of being a problem here with the wide guard, but we're going to see the Calyrex come in. So for now, we're going quick, just like at the beginning of game 1.
Well, wide guard is so risky here because Marco only needs a Psychic into that Miraidon to pick up the KO. But there it is, wide guard. Federico thinks that Marco will be going for the Astral Barrage here, and he gets it right again. Federico knows exactly what Marco is thinking every time. No damage to the Lunala, no damage to the Miraidon, and that means Miraidon gets to swing this Electro Drift for free with the Electric Terrain into Calyrex. Ring the bell, 1-hit KO for Calyrex.
Oh, this is looking bad. I mean, even ignoring the speed advantage, now how do you deal with this Incineroar going to resist all of the attacks left in this game? Both the Calyrex and the Ogerpon going to struggle to damage this, and hey, you can't even really focus it down, right? That Lunala is still scary. And there's still an Ursaluna, one of the scariest Pokemon in this format, with the full turns of Trick Room to potentially take advantage of here. Looking bleak for Marco, and it looks like Federico could once again defeat him.
This looks like checkmate. The combination of the Dark-type Incineroar next to Wide Guard on Lunala means that this Calyrex can't do anything to Incineroar. It is untouchable in this position, and it is free to go for whatever it wants to do. Calyrex knows it can't do anything right now. It's going to protect itself while Lunala covers for an offensive attack from that Calyrex. That means it's all about Incineroar. Knock off to Hearthflame Ogerpon. That Pokemon is now down and out. And with just Calyrex under Trick Room and 3 Pokemon, Federico Camporesi is going to defeat Marco Silva once again.
Nothing he can do here now. What an excellent set by both players, but the Trick Room mode able to work this time. Didn't work in game 2. We'll see the Terastallization. Marco not giving up, doing everything he can to keep himself in this game. This will allow him to survive a knockoff, but there's still no path to actually damaging this Incineroar.
Yeah, here is the one thing you can hope for, is that Federico makes a mistake and goes on the offensive with this Lunala using Moongeist Beam to stop very effective damage onto that Pokemon, but Federico doesn't. He goes for the Moonblast. Federico Camporesi is your 2025 North America International Champion.
Federico really has his back against the wall. Ursaluna now switching out, allowing possibly that. Oh, it's going to be the Porygon too, so wanting to get those really strong fighting time moves onto the King Gambit.
Download boost the special attack of this Porygon 2, which King Gambit is not going to like to see one bit. Hurricane landing its mark into Torkoal, going to weaken the damage from any eruption. And King Gambit going to weaken it further by getting that knockout onto the Torkoal. But
Ursaluna now going to withdraw. This is starting to look quite familiar with what happened in Game 1. Torkoal coming in, resetting the rain once again with its sun. The drought coming across the field. The sun is shining, and Hurricane does connect this time onto the Porygon 2. Not enough to knock it out. Confusion lands on this Porygon. Is this Porygon going to be able to break through the confusion? This is going to be so close. And it again does itself in confusion. Porygon 2 does not get an attack off, allowing the King Gambit to get the Kowtow cleave off onto the Torkoal, and Torkoal takes heavy damage for switching in.
Pelipper has to come in because the Basculegion's got knocked out. So Ursaluna comes in, and then Pelipper comes in, the rain gets set up, but there is still Torkoal in the back.
Yes, Federico has unfortunately lost the weather wall. Pelipper are going to come in once again, trying to bring the storm with her. But we all know what's going to happen. Marco has his son in the back. He can just easily switch in that Torkoal and regain the weather control. Now, King Gambit is very threatening here with Sucker Punches. But Ursaluna going to switch out, resetting the sun back upon the field and indicating that the Charizard is going to go for the Heat Waves. Is that going to be... which target
Is it even going to be coming up? Because we've got a Sucker Punch coming out from this King Gambit.
And it is enough!
It is enough to pick up the KO. That's not the damage that you really want to be seeing, but there is a way, and that way for Marco is to get that recover onto Porygon 2 and try to allow it to survive these turns. Weather Ball landing into the Porygon 2. Last Respect is enough to pick up the KO. We have a Torkoal. It may be in Trick Room, but it is in the rain right now. The Eruption is doing very little damage. And of course, there is Water-type Weather Balls coming out from this Pelipper and this Basculegion.
Yes, Torkoal is a turtle, is a tortoise, not a turtle, and it does very sad damage in the rain. Weather Ball now from this Pelipper,